Over the last 7 days, I've probably received over 30 messages from people asking me, Leon, I am an NFT project founder. Should I be exploring Aptos and launching my collection on Aptos? So in today's video, we are going to be exploring, as an NFT project founder, is Aptos the biggest opportunity that has revealed itself in front of us, or is it a sure way to lose money and get your project to flop? That's what we're going to be exploring in today's video. For those of you who haven't heard, Aptos is a new blockchain that recently came out, launched an airdrop, and became one of the hottest topics of a conversation in the crypto and NFT space. Pretty quickly after launching their blockchain, Aptos started seeing a very rich and active scene in the NFT space. And we saw a huge shift of people, especially Solana people, shift all the way to Aptos and really taking up market share. So the question is, what is Aptos? Is it here to stay, or is it just a fad? And even if you're not planning on launching on Aptos, you're going to want to stick on this video, because out of Aptos came an innovation that could actually be applied to NFT projects on other chains, including Solana and Ethereum. And if there's one thing you're going to want to take out from this video, it's going to be this one thing. So make sure you don't skip that part. So pretty quickly after Aptos launching, we saw media outlets come up with headlines like this one. Can Aptos NFT scene compete with Ethereum's? Then we've had Aptos APT looks to bury Solana as APT's NFT projects take off. So pretty quickly, Aptos started to gain traction in the NFT scene. If we move forward, we can see that there has been some criticism about the Aptos blockchain, where Aptos mainnet to experience NFT boom despite network scalability problems. And Aptos NFTs are coming and may put network scalability claims to test. If we are to look at the Aptos price chart, we're going to see that the coin launched at $8.5 per Aptos. And the way people got their hands on the Aptos token was the people that had transacted on the Aptos testnet before the launch of the actual token received airdrops of the token. So I have friends, people in the space, that received thousands of dollars worth of Aptos for only transacting on the testnet, publishing NFTs, buying and selling NFTs on the testnet. And very quickly when the token launched, we saw it crash. Part of it is some people wanted to sell their tokens. Another part of it is people realized that the network was actually not as scalable as it was intended to. Another reason why the coin crashed so quickly was that the Aptos blockchain claimed that they could handle up to 160,000 transactions per second. However, after the coin launched and the blockchain went live, people realized that the transaction speed on the blockchain was only 4 transactions per second, which is terrible. Bitcoin, who's a meme in the NFT space for how slow the network is, does almost twice as much transactions as Aptos does, with 7 transactions per second for Bitcoin and only 4 for Aptos. However, if we are to go back to the chart, the spike right here coincides with the beginning of the NFT scene in Aptos. So a couple of days after Aptos launching, we saw an NFT scene that started boiling. And this created a whole new demand for the Aptos token, therefore increasing the price of the token. If we were to look at the overall market volume for Solana, Ethereum, and Aptos being in yellow right here, we can see that Aptos very quickly rose up to the occasion and actually became a pretty decent competitor for Solana. So if we are to look over the last couple of months, Ethereum has clearly been in a downtrend, while Solana has been hanging on in terms of transactions. Yet we can see right here, Aptos all of a sudden showing up out of nowhere, and even on one day surpassing Solana in terms of market volume. So that day, Aptos made over $3 million in traded volume, while Solana did about 2.6. And again, if we are to look at NFT market volume in terms of market share, we can see that the sharp decrease in Solana coincides with the sharp increase in Aptos. So what this tells us is that a lot of Solana people have migrated to Aptos during very turbulent times on Solana, where we had the controversy of 0% royalties. We saw Aptos present itself, and that made it a very attractive avenue for a lot of Solana people to go on Aptos and start transacting there, therefore removing volume from Solana and bringing that all the way to Aptos. And this is where I want to pick your brain. So right here, the huge spike we see coincided with the launch of the most hyped Aptos project called Aptos Monkeys. Ended up making about $750,000 on mint and on secondary royalties. But my question is, the day after the Aptos Monkey launch, what do you think happened to the Aptos volume? Did it stay stable? Did it continue going up? or did it go down and correct? So this is what happened after the launch of Aptos Monkey. We had Aptos's volume really crash back down and settle there really after the market corrected itself and the hype kind of started dying down. So this brings us to our question. Does Aptos stand a chance to be the Solana killer, like everyone is calling it, or is it just a fad? And this is where we want to answer the questions from a technological standpoint. What new technological innovation does Aptos bring to the table that does not already exist in the market with Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, Cardano, and all the other blockchains? The answer is none, honestly. Aptos promised fast transaction speeds with low gas fees. And it turns out that the transaction speed wasn't even that quick on Aptos. So the only thing they have left is low gas fees. And this is exactly what Solana offers. Solana offers fast transaction speeds and low gas fees. And Solana has the early movers advantage. So in terms of innovation, Aptos still does not bring anything new to the table that has a chance of really sweeping competition to the side and becoming the new market leader. However, this does not mean that there exists no opportunity on Aptos and that the Aptos blockchain is bound to fade to zero. That's not true. Remember, the future of Web3 and the blockchain is multi-chain. There will not be one chain that fits all. And right now, with the current state of the market, Ethereum is a store of value chain where you have blue chip projects that hold value. It's like the gold of NFTs. While Solana is the ecosystem chain where you can build large scalable ecosystems with very low transaction fees. So in the future, I do not think that Aptos is completely going to disappear. The NFT ecosystem on Aptos is here to stay. And this brings us to our question right here. Is Aptos a good chain for us to build as an NFT project founder? Is there opportunities for the future or not? And what we're seeing right now with Aptos is the emergence of a new pond, a blue ocean with no competition. And this opens up an opportunity to create an OG project in a chain that is here to stay at the end of the day. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, are we interested in building a project in a bigger yet more competitive space? Or are we interested in building a project in a smaller space yet have more chances of becoming number one in that space? What I mean by this is if you are in the top 5% of projects on Cardano, you're probably doing better than 95% of projects on Solana. And the same thing applies on Solana. If you are in the top 5% of Solana, you are probably doing better than 95% of the projects on Ethereum. So you see how there's layers to this game. And this is where we have the opportunity to being a top 5% project on a completely new chain. So this brings us to our question. How do we actually build a project on Aptos? How do we execute in terms of the marketing of that project? And for us to be able to execute on marketing, we first understand what is the type of buyer persona that has been buying Aptos so we can learn how is it that we can market to that buyer persona. And this is where I would like to introduce you to the type of buyer persona that transacts on Aptos. And from the many studies, interviews, and researches we've conducted at the NFT Consulting agency that I've founded, Unfungible.xyz, we've identified that there are 3 types of buyers in the NFT space as we speak right now. The first one is the X-Collector. The second one is called Finny, and the third one is Z-Money. And in the context of Aptos, the type of buyer persona that has been transacting on Aptos has been Z-Money. And this is where I want to introduce you to Z-Money. The typical buyer persona of Z-Money is someone very well known as the degen. Z-Money is a type of buyer that has made a lot of money during the bull market and tends to be much more interested in buying and flipping projects in a short period of time. Z-Money likes volatility and they find opportunity within that the volatility of the market. He is the type of person that tends to buy shitcoins and meme coins like the AMC stock or Dogecoin. And they are more interested in using NFTs to make money than they are as a long-term store of value or for status signaling. Z-Money tends to be the type of buyer persona we see on Solana thanks to Solana's low gas fees and quick transactions that allows this type of volatility to come in quickly and sell your NFT a couple hours later. And Z-Money tends to be tech savvy and an early adopter in technology, which is what allowed him to quickly jump on the Aptos chain. So by understanding Z-Money, by understanding what is the motivation that gets Z-Money to buy into projects, we can then reverse engineer that and understand what are the marketing channels Z-Money spends his time on. What are the types of projects and messages that Z-Money relates with? And how is it that we can build a project that is attractive to XYZ money. So this brings us to the formula that you are very familiar with if you've been watching my videos, which is the traditional NFT project sellout formula, which is a 5-phase project sellout formula, which includes the Twitter engagement farming, Discord release, quantum growth, maturation, and mint. Most of the OG projects in this space have followed a variation of this NFT project sellout formula that I am dictating right here. And this formula acts as a skeleton from which we can continue iterating it as the market changes and evolves. If you aren't familiar with this formula, I would invite you to refer back to my previous videos so you can see me dissecting exactly piece by piece this formula, and you can learn how you can apply that to your project. So in terms of the Aptos project sellout formula, it follows a very similar formula as it did for the traditional project sellout formula. Because the type of buyer persona, as we saw, is the same as it used to be, we did not see the emergence of a new buyer persona that has been buying specifically on Aptos. All we've seen is a buyer persona that has been transacting on Solana move to Aptos. And from there, we can reverse engineer the Aptos project sellout formula, which becomes a 4-stage process. So we have phase 1, which is the same as before, Twitter engagement farming, phase 2, Discord release, phase 3, quantum growth, and phase 5, which is mint. The only difference in the Aptos project sellout formula is that we have not been seeing the maturation phase of a project. And the reason for that is because Aptos is still so new. The projects there are still so new. The space has yet to find its voice, to find its differentiating factor from the Solana blockchain or the Ethereum blockchain. And most of the people that are buying into Aptos projects, the sad reality is that they are just all FOMOing into projects. And because of that, projects do not need to do as much of a job maturating their projects, which is showing people the signals, the signs that they have an OG legit project that is bringing value to the space and is built by a doxed and qualified team. And this, ladies and gentlemen, could be one of the downfalls of Aptos. The fact that none of the projects I've seen out there have a doxed team. None of them have actually shown any plans to build something beyond just a meme community. Could be the reason why the Aptos NFT ecosystem is just going to cool off and people are just going to go back to Solana naturally. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 most important sections that make a successful Aptos NFT project launch. The first one is the Twitter engagement farming. How do we do it? Where do we do it? The second important element is quantum growth. Out of Aptos came an incredible innovation in this space that has been helping projects really go through quantum growth in a very efficient and new way, which I'm going to be showing you in today's video. And finally, phase 5, which is the mint. What have been some of the marketplace and the launchpad that you can use to launch and mint your Aptos collection? Let's talk a little bit about the Twitter engagement farming. And this is where I need to warn you. Aptos is a high risk, high reward play that you're going to make. And I have yet to see big projects in this space use the Twitter engagement farming successfully. A lot of the noise that has been made in Aptos has been from a handful of projects, about 4 to 5 projects. And one thing you do need to know is that these projects have had an early mover's advantage and have been marketing for the last couple months. If we are to look at some of the top projects on Aptos, we have Wrecked Dogs Aptos right here with 88,000 followers. If we scroll all the way down, we see that they have started marketing on July 5th. So it was a while ago. If we go to the second very hyped project, Bra Bears, 78,000 followers. Again, we scroll all the way down, we can see they started marketing around August 1st. Another project, this is the project that ended up making 750,000 and over on their mint. Aptos Monkeys with 125,000 followers. Again, if we scroll all the way down, we're gonna see they started marketing in July 28th. And finally, Aptos Mingos, we're gonna see they started marketing on July 31st. And this is where I'm going to ask you to proceed with caution because you are going into unknown territory right now. And the only thing I can do in today's video is point you in the right direction so you can use the limited resources that you have at your disposal correctly without wasting much time and energy. And I do need to share something with you, which there's no way I can be 100% sure of. It is going to be a pretty big claim that I'm about to make. But those 4 projects, the top 4 projects on Aptos right now, there's a big chance that they were all started by the same team. And there's a couple reasons why. Number 1, they were all started in the same window of time, July, August. But number 2, my second point. If you are to go and join the Discord server of every one of those projects, you're going to notice that the Discord server is a copy paste of one another. The verification process is the same. They have the same bots, they have the same templates, and they ran the same collabs with the same projects. And literally on the 4 projects, none of the team members are doxxed. All the doxing is like altcoin accounts on Twitter, and no one actually has shown their face. And on top of that, we've seen those projects really constantly shill one another during the marketing phase. For instance, right here, Brawlbear and Aptos Mingos really shilling each other to each other's communities. Again, it could be coincidence, they could just be supporting each other. And you do what you want with that information, you do your own research. But one thing you do need to understand is that you are threading on unknown ground right here. And going on Aptos is a high risk, high reward move that I have not been recommending to any of my clients so far because we have not seen enough longevity in this space. Let's talk a little bit about the Twitter engagement farming. Now that we understand the buyer persona that is buying on Aptos is the degen that we've found on Solana. That means we can tap into the same marketing channels that we always have launching Solana projects. And really the goal of the Twitter engagement farming is for you to start cementing your brand within the NFT ecosystem. And it is typically done by working with influencers, having them show your project and talk about your project in front of their audience time and time again for the entire duration of the Twitter engagement farming week. That way your project can build some credibility, can trigger people's curiosity, and should aim to get them to click on your Discord link the day Discord opens. So the entire goal of the Twitter engagement farming is to get people to click on your Discord once it opens. And if you want to dive deeper into how does the Twitter engagement farming window work, who are those influencers, what does it look like, I'm going to be linking a video in the description of this video so you can watch a full 40-minute case study that really dissects all those smaller elements right here. Next thing, and this is one I'm really excited about, which is the quantum growth. So typically quantum growth is the window of time where we see projects go from like 5K followers on Twitter all the way to 30, 40K. Similarly on Discord, we see projects go from 5K Discord members all the way to 30, 40K server members. And out of Aptos came a very interesting innovation called Crew 3. So right here, I am on crew3.xyz. And it is basically a new tool that allows NFT projects to engage with their community on a much deeper level that we haven't seen before. Before, most of the engagements that used to happen between the project and the community used to be mainly happening on Twitter or Discord. And it was very limited in terms of the depth at which you could interact with your community. However, Q3 comes in and changes that. And what Crew3 allows you to do is it allows you to create a project page, to connect your social media, and then to create quests for your community. And every time your community completes a specific piece of quest, they automatically earn XP tokens. And with that XP tokens, the more they earn, the more rewards they could unlock. And for instance, one of those rewards could be buying a whitelist. So here, for instance, I am on the Crew3 page for wrecked dogs. And we can see that the types of quests they have is that, for instance, if you follow, reply, and retweet and like this specific tweet, you will gain 50 experience points. So here, for instance, they have a tweet where they were celebrating 100,000 people on Discord. And if you were to go follow, reply, retweet, and like this tweet, you will earn 30 experience. So those are one-off quests that people can perform. The beautiful thing about Crew3 is that you can also create daily quests. So for instance, if you shill the project daily, you will earn 50 XP. If you post a fan art daily, you earn 30 XP every day. If you create a meme every day, 30 XP per day. And the best part is that you can start gamifying the quests and you can start adding layers of branding to it. So you can tell people that if every day they go and they say good morning on your Discord, they get 30 XP. And if every day, for instance, they go and they say one thing they are grateful for on your Discord, again, they can earn 50 XP. If they invite 5 friends, they can earn 200 XP. And the best part about Crew3 is that most of it is done automatically. So no longer do you have to go and verify one by one on Discord that that person say good morning. When the person completes a quest, they upload a proof to that quest on Crew3 and you can directly instantly go and verify them. When someone completes a quest that they went, liked, followed, retweeted and commented on that tweet, this is automatically verified on Crew3 because people have to connect their Twitter and Discord account. So this basically takes a lot of heavy lifting away from the NFT project founders. And the platform will basically give you insight over the health of your community. How engaged are they? What is the speed of redemption of your tokens? And are you on the right track in terms of community growth and community health? And if you were to go right here on Q3 and you create a community, you can see that it is not only limited to Aptos. You can create a Solana community, you can create an Ethereum community, you can create any community on any blockchain. So it is not limited to Aptos. However, it did take Aptos to popularize this platform and to put it in front of a lot of people. So this could be something you can take away from this video, is using Crew3 and applying that to your project. Really using that to grow your community organically. Engage with them on a deeper level, on a more branded level. So Crew3.xyz is one of the key points I wanted you to take away from the quantum growth of this project. It is really the latest innovation that happened in this space that you can take advantage of on your project. Another very important point I want you to take away for the quantum growth phase of the Aptos project is that collaborations is one of the big ways Aptos projects have been selling out. And as we've seen before with the type of buyer persona, the collaborations are mainly happening with Solana projects. If we are to go on this project called Aptos Wizards, we can see the types of DAO and collabs they've been making. So right here you can see Utes, DGod, SolHub, OKBears, Serum Surfer, Zillas, Suave Seals, Leaders. Those are all Solana communities. So what does this tell us is that giving out whitelists to Solana communities is the way to go, and could be an advantage because all of a sudden Aptos whitelists have a lot more perceived value than Sol whitelist giveaways. Let's talk about the final point, the mint. In terms of the launchpads and the wallets you can use to build your Aptos project, let's talk a little bit about the most popular Aptos wallets. So Martian is the most popular and trusted Aptos wallet right now for Aptos. And then right behind that, we have the Petra wallet. So those are the two types of wallets that you can use to store your Aptos and transact on the Aptos blockchain. If we are to talk a little about the most popular launchpads right now, there are three launchpads. The first one is Sufil Launchpad, and this is where you can launch your project. You will need to apply to it, but it does seem like they have been approving most projects that are applying to it. The second one is Topaz, and Topaz is actually the marketplace, the most popular marketplace for Aptos, and they also happen to have a launchpad, which is the Topaz launchpad. And that was the launchpad that Aptos monkeys used to launch their collection. And finally, we have Bluemove. Bluemove, similarly, they are a marketplace and they all happen to have the launchpad option, which you will need to apply to as well. So ladies and gentlemen, Aptos came out of nowhere and it has presented itself as this new opportunity that could help us create an OG project in a new space that is still a blue ocean and has very little competition. However, Aptos is an uncharted territory and it is a high risk, high reward move that you can make for your project. If you want to learn about the latest strategies in the NFT market that has been working during the bear market, I'm going to be referencing a video right here that you can watch so you can learn how you can launch your NFT project during the bear market and increase your chances of getting a positive outcome, which is selling out your collection and building a community deserving of your presence in the space. With that said, I'll be seeing you very soon. Ciao.